welcome to Becoming the Community CEO. I'm your host, Roberto Candelaria. And over the past several years, I've partnered with leaders around the world to build highly engaged and profitable communities. Through this journey, I also discovered the characteristics that these communities had in common, and today, I'm here to share them with you. Together, we'll explore conversations around community building, partnerships, leadership, and profits. These are the core areas to becoming the community CEO. And now, let's jump into this week's episode. All right, y'all. Well, as I mentioned today, we're hanging out with the one and only Liz Wilcox. And, I just love her desire and her passion, not only for awesome music and for bright colors and boy band dance moves, but for her family, specifically for her daughter. And I know that we talk a lot about like how you put people and purpose and passion ahead of profits, but it really takes the profits to be able to do the things we love. And Liz has been able to build a life that she truly loves, hanging out at the beach and all that fun stuff. So, Liz, welcome.
Hey, I'm laughing. I had to mute myself because you said Liz Wilcox, the one and only, and I did a live training today, and underneath my name, I wrote the one and only, and then I was like, no, Liz, that's way too egotistical. So I was like, oh, good, there it is. I knew there was a reason I was thinking the one and only Liz Wilcox, but so you gave it to me, so I didn't have to give it to myself. So thank you.
Hey, great minds think alike. It's the same
Yes.
thread there. So, I guess, let's start with what got you into email marketing, because I know for me and for most people, people hear, oh my God, email marketing, and either A, that's a lot of work, or B, it's really sleazy and like really stanky. So like, what got you into that work?
Gosh, if that is you and you're thinking, yeah, sleazy, too much work, like I love email marketing because I think the exact opposite. Like, I think email marketing is the simplest form of content marketing. It's the easiest thing. Roberto knows this. I always call myself like a two-step chick. So I don't like to do anything that's more than a couple steps. And so email marketing is literally just sending out an email. Like, how simple is that? But I got into it. I actually started an RV blog back in 2016. And I knew I wanted to start it as a business. It wasn't, one of those travel blogs that you see that most people, they just start and it's kind of like this journal or diary, to document their travels. I knew I wanted a business. And so, I start Googling how to make money with a blog, how to make money online. And everyone says, the money's in the list, the money's in the list. And again, I'm a two-step chick. I'm like, I don't need to hear anything else. I'll just start building this email list. And after about 6 months, people say, well, to make money with your email list, you've really got to create your own product. So I created my own product. And it ended up being picked up by a sponsor. I think in the first few months I made $7,000. It was an ebook, and it was an ebook about poop. It was about crappy RV stories. And it just did so well. It really it just struck a nerve with me where I was like, wow, this is real. You can really make money. Like, this isn't just something that I read online. I'm actually doing it. And over the course of 3 years after that, I created almost a dozen digital products. I sold them through my email list. I didn't have any money for paid ads or anything like that. So I just focused on list building and, being myself in the emails, selling products that I knew my people wanted. And after 3 years, I said, I'm going to create a course, and it was on RV maintenance. I've never even changed a bike tire or filled up a bike tire. So I actually hired someone to create the content for the course, and I sold it. I had 141 people on my wait list, like, hey, are you interested in this course? And by the end of the cart close, about 100 days later, from that initial, hey, are you interested email, I made 141 sales. So once I started telling my story about that, going to a few events, talking to friends online on Facebook and such. They're like, holy crap, Liz, that's freaking nuts. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, holy crap, that is nuts. And people are asking me, how did you do that? How did you do that? The typical rate is, like 1, maybe 5%, right? And here I am making all the sales. And I said, well, it's my emails. I email my people. And so I ended up actually selling that blog to go full time teaching people how I did that.
I love that. And I heard a couple things here, and I want to dissect a couple of them. And as we continue the conversation today, so the first one is that y'all, she had an RV blog, right? And so y'all may know Liz now as like, oh my God, she is the one and only when it comes to email marketing and to messaging around email marketing there, right? And it started with an RV blog. And so the very first thing I heard there for community leaders is that sometimes leaders feel that, oh, I got stuck in this one niche, so I have to stay here. And as I evolve, that my community cannot evolve with me. And so I love the fact that you evolved from we're doing this RV blog, but as the blog grows, the business grows, and that gives me the opportunity for the personal growth, the professional growth that I want for me and my family. The
Hmm.
second thing I heard there is, okay, y'all have all heard it at some point, and if not, go to YouTube. Somebody said it. Or people just like, who do they think they are? Do they just think that they're crapping money? Well, yes, literally. In this case, Liz was crapping money about
That's
crap,
hilarious. No one's
right?
ever said that to me. I love that connection. Yeah. Sometimes you can crap money sometimes.
Yeah, and so what I heard there about product specifically, and as it goes to the community CEO, is that oftentimes people get in this mindset of I need a 27 download production. I need to go hire an expensive videographer versus realizing that there is money in what you know and being able to create something that helps someone that's just one or two steps behind you and that they'll pay for that information and it all the way down to like RV poop, which is like the most awesome example ever.
Yeah, 100%. And how I came up with that example, it was me, you know, cultivating that community. I was 6 months in, and you're listening to this, you've been 6 months into your business and you're kind of all over the place, you're flailing your arms around. And I was like, why are these people following me? I have no idea. I'm all over the place. I don't know what I'm doing except that I want to make this work. So I literally just asked. My blog actually used to be called The Virtual Campground because I really wanted it to be this virtual campground, this community of RVers. And I asked, I said, hey, I'm kind of all over the place. I'm brand new to all this. Why do you follow me? And they said, well, Liz, you're funny and you can tell a good story. So what was my first product? It was a collection of funny stories. And it just went on from there. I mentioned the RV course on RV maintenance. I don't know anything about RV maintenance, but I knew my people needed it. And so I went out and I created the content or got someone to create the content.
Right. Which actually, I love that you just came right back to that because that was the third note that I made there about that first little section here was that as a leader, you don't have to know it all. We have to know who knows it.
Yes,
And this
100%.
is where collaboration really comes in. And what I appreciate about the story that you shared is that, even throughout my own career, I've not been the sole creator behind every product. There's been times where it's like, hey, we're going to do a summit on X. And I may know one topic, but that's where Liz could come train about email marketing and, Jim Quick come train about memory. Our communities don't look to us to have all the answers. They look to us, A, because of the community that we've cultivated, but two, they know that we're going to bring them people that are going to take care of them, people that they can trust, I feel as a leader.
Yeah, 100%. When I sold my blog, that was the first question. Well, Liz Wilcox, you're so dynamic. You are the one and only. How can I take this thing you've built and make it my own? And I said, well, actually, I've already done that. I've made it about the community, and anyone can be inserted and it can live on, and it lives on to this day.
Well, and talking about living on to this day, I think about community. And let's just say somebody has a Facebook group, for example, or even like this past weekend, as of the time of this recording, I was in San Francisco and we had the opportunity to meet a friend and go to their house. And I guess we'll start with that. I had the opportunity to go to this friend's house and they were just like, "Hey, can we make you and Warren a cup of tea?" And, after the past year and the place that the world has been, well, past year and a half ish, it was so nice to be invited into someone's home, to sit down, to have a cup of hot tea, to share a cup of tea, to share in the conversation, and just immediately feel this sense of welcome and belonging. And we're able to do that, like, and create that environment. Like, even if you were to host a beach party, beach dance party, I'm going to say for Liz, I know that there would be this sense of welcome, this sense of belonging. And sometimes people might do that in a Facebook group. They'll be like, "Hey, they have questions that people answer. They take them through a welcome maze." How does that carry over to email marketing? And I guess even the question before that is, why should community leaders be even thinking about email marketing? So even before the welcome sequence, why should they even be on email?
Okay, two really good questions. So, why email marketing? Well, number one, you own that platform. You own those emails. Someone has deliberately, very intentionally, typed their name and email into a box and given it to you and said, "Yes, Roberto, yes, Diana, like, please email me. I'm very interested in what you have to say." So, as far as social media platforms or anything else, you don't own Facebook.com, and they can change their terms or change, just change the game up, kind of like Survivor, right? Every season they have something different. That's kind of like social media. Right now it's TikTok, then Instagram came back with the reels, and you're just kind of going back and forth. But with email marketing, you own your list. If you go from ConvertKit to Kajabi to Active Campaign, you can take all of those emails with you. It doesn't change. The only deciding factor is how many times you decide to email them. There's no real algorithm, so to speak. And number two, and you can Google this, you can fact check me. For every dollar that you spend on email marketing, you should receive, or you can expect up to $42 in return. So you think, ConvertKit is what, $29 a month, about 30 times 40. You can you can expect, what is that? Like $1,200 a month if you're doing it right, very easily, for every dollar that you spend. So it's really lucrative. And what I love about email marketing the most, is you can make real connections with people. I was talking about this today in a live training about list building, but it was, email isn't just a one to many, right? Of course, you're sending mass emails. Everybody knows that. The customer, experience, they're very savvy nowadays. They know you're not sending it to them individually, right? But it's a two-way street. You write it to a friend, you write it to, like, you're talking to someone that wants to, has a general interest. The same thing, like, I love boy bands. Uh, you can't see me right now, but I've got um, three giant NSYNC posters behind me. And so let's say I bumped into an old friend at the store and I said, hey, wasn't that so fun? We used to really be into NSYNC. And she says, "Oh yeah, I still listen to them. Oh, give me your phone number. I've got the latest information about Justin Timberlake or whatever." And now we're in exchange. That's how you can think of your email subscriber. So you might be, emailing a bunch of people about NSYNC, we'll say, but they can email you back and you can start a conversation. I've met hundreds and hundreds of my subscribers. Just today on the live training, I think I had, I don't know, about 20 people show up live. I had met more than half of them in person. And it's so, it didn't start off that way. We don't live in the same town. I just travel a lot for work and I used to have a travel blog, right? And it's just that awesome two-way street where it opens up this line of communication where you can be one to one. You can really get to know your subscribers, and they can get to know you in a way that when you launch a book about crap, it sells, right?
Well, and with what you just shared, I think it was probably last year. I had the opportunity. I was attending a virtual conference, and Shalene Johnson was speaking. And one of the notes that I wrote down that from she was speaking about actually selling online and online marketing. And one of the things that she said that like stuck with me, I had to go pull it up right now as I heard you talking. She said, if you want to go deeper, we don't do that on social, we do that on email. And when I just heard
Yes,
you sharing
100%.
there, that's what that was to me. It's just like, even those, like if your community's on Instagram, if your community's on YouTube, if your community is on Facebook or wherever it's at, it may be an in-person community, right? The connection still happens at a deeper level on email because there's just some conversations that people are just like, man, I'm not going to put that out there and every single comment for the world to see. But email creates that level of intimacy when we can't be in that same room. And so I love that you shared that way.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. I like what you said, that level of intimacy. And it's just like a real mailbox. So the way that when you pick up your phone, you click on Instagram or Facebook, you act a certain way, right? The app has kind of trained you to do certain things. When you open your Gmail, your Outlook, whatever you use, you are using it in a different way. You are actively searching for the person you want to talk to instead of Facebook, which feeds you what you think you want to see. In the inbox, you have to search for what you want to see. So if you can become that person that, oh, I got an email from Roberto, awesome. The same way that when you go to the mailbox, you're automatically throwing away the junk mail, and it's always fun when you actually get snail mail, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, Roberto sent me something. This is awesome. It's the exact same way in the inbox. So it's just that really, like Roberto said, that really intimate way of connecting with people. And when you have a proper welcome sequence, bringing it back to that second question Roberto asked, you can be that bright spot. You can't see my fingers, but I'm like fake scrolling. Like, oh yeah, wow, that's Vincent, that's Roberto, that's Warren. I can't wait to see what they say. And so they click on it, right? And you do that with a proper welcome sequence, just like when somebody enters your Facebook group or DMs you for the first time on Instagram. You kind of have like what do they call it, an SOP, right? You have the same automated for your emails.
So what does that look like for people? If they're saying, okay, Liz, look, I haven't been doing emailing because I've been scared, but I've decided like, hey, I'm going to go get Active Campaign or ConvertKit or MailChimp. And y'all, we're going to give you another level of quick freedom here before Liz says that is, y'all, they all work. They all end up in
Mm,
an inbox. So find the one that you'll actually use. Like that's the right one to use. The one that'll actually make you hit send is the one that you should use. But once they decide that, like, how do they welcome people? What does that proper nurture sequence look like?
okay, yeah. So first, remember, you're trying to turn them into a friend. So I have something called the email staircase. So first you've got that follower, right? Or that new community member on social media. You get them on your list, you turn them into a friend because people buy from people they trust, and that turns them into a customer, right? So how do we get them into a friend? It's just 4 emails. It's very simple. It's not, what you would think. A lot of email marketers will tell you, oh, you've got to have this funnel, or you've got to, you got to sell right off the bat. Uh, you know, I'm picturing like a spider web. When you think of email marketing, most people probably would say like, yeah, it's like a spider web. I don't get it. So I'm just going to share with you the 4 essential emails that you need and maybe a couple quick tips on what to put in those emails. So the first email is your freebie and a quick intro. The biggest mistake I see people making is that first email where you deliver your freebie, your opt-in, whatever you want to call it. They want to give away the whole kitchen sink. They want to tell you their brand story, etc. But here's the thing: whether they found you on SEO, on social, however, they just want your freebie, right? They just want the free thing. So give them that free thing, like give them what you said, and just do a quick intro. So it's like, hey, my name's Liz Wilcox. Here's the freebie. I won't waste your time. You've waited long enough to get email marketing together. Here you go. And then I'll say something like, if you only know one thing about me, it's that I love writing emails more than I love boy bands from the 90s. So I give a little bit of that personality without even having to tell anyone that I'm 90s themed or, I love color or whatever. I just, that one sentence. So think about in your head, or, if you're not driving, write it down. Like, what's one sentence? Like, if you know one thing about me, it's that I love blank more than blank, right? And that just gives enough of your personality that someone can make a quick instant connection with you. It's kind of like your virtual handshake, right? If you're, picture yourself at a conference or a networking event. The second email is going to be your best content, whether you've got a podcast like this one, or, your Instagram is just fire, you've got the best reels in town, right? Or you're a blogger and, you've got a really awesome piece of cornerstone content. You're going to put it in that second email. Whether you, actually put a ton of content in that email or you link out, it doesn't really matter. I would keep it shorter. You don't want to write 1,000 words. Remember, this is the second time you're quote unquote meeting this person, but you just want to put your best foot forward, tell people what you're about, give them one of your, content pillars, and get out of there. The third email, and if you learn nothing else from Liz Wilcox the rest of your life, I want you to write this email. I want you to have this email. I don't care if you've got the best performing welcome sequence already in place. If you put this email in there, it will perform better. This is called the newsletter expectations email. This is where you're going to tell them what is about to go down on your email list, right? They don't know. So far, you've sent them a freebie and your best content. They don't know what the heck is coming next. So you're going to tell them, just like in a Facebook group when, nowadays I see a lot of people like, you have to check that you're going to abide by the rules, or you read by the rules, just like everybody's got terms and conditions. This is that. So in the third email, you kind of rally the troops, so to speak. You say, like, hey, this is who we are. This is who we serve. And by the way, this is what is about to go down now that you're a member of my community. And you can literally say that, whether you I used to call, because it was camping, right? So I call it my little campground tribe. And now I call it my inbox crew. You can come up with a funny name, or if that's not, writing's not your creative thing, just say my community. Here is what you can expect as a member of my community, ... And then you tell them exactly when you're going to send out newsletters. I'm going to send out a newsletter once a week on Tuesday afternoons. Let me tell you, if you put that in writing, you're going to freaking do it, because you're a person of your word, right? Like it's like selling something before you've made it. Like, now you got to make it. So I'm going to send out newsletters on Tuesdays. I'm going to go live on Facebook every Wednesday. I'm going to, do this in my Facebook group, link to the Facebook group. Whatever happens in your community, whatever pieces of content you create on a regular basis, you're going to put in this newsletter. And then you can say something like, if this sounds good to you, hit reply with a, cowabunga, or what I think I write, too legit to quit. So I love getting emails that it's just a reply and they literally typed all caps, too legit to quit. It makes my day. So whatever makes sense for you. And that's kind of like a contract, right? It's those terms and conditions. Like I signed up for your list and now I'm going to get the newsletter. I'm going to, enjoy Facebook Lives on this. I'm going to get hilarious Instagram reels, whatever your thing is. And then the fourth email. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I forgot the biggest part of this. So, one of those expectations, and this is for whether or not you have any products or services to sell. I don't know what phase of business you're at, but sometimes, we want to start an email list and we don't even have anything to sell yet. Or maybe we're pivoting and we've got a service, but we don't have any digital products yet or whatever, right? Or we don't have the funnel built out. You're going to put this sentence in there. If you don't want to write this whole email, put this sentence somewhere in your welcome sequence. It's got to be in those first few days. Say, I am going to offer you free and paid products or free and paid services, free and paid resources, something that tells them you are going to sell to them. Whether they understand that consciously or not, you can't see me, but I've got my hand on the back of my head and it just kind of flips a switch in the back of their mind like, oh, shoot, this is a business, right? And that takes care of things, especially for bloggers or for, the coaches that they don't have their package ready yet, but they know list building is important, right? Or they're not exactly sure what the funnel is going to be, or if they want to build out a funnel or what. If you just put that in the expectations, I am going, write it down, pull over. This is important. I am going to offer you free and paid products, resources, services, whatever word you want to use. It just tells them, I am a business. I am going to use this as a marketing tool. And then when you sell, it becomes so much easier because, oh, yeah, she told me this is the paid product that she told me literally that, first week she was going to do, right? Whether it comes next week or next year, they already know it's baked in right there. And then the last email, tell them your big why, show them, how you got into business. Just like at the beginning of this podcast, I said, oh, I used to have this RV blog. I made 141 sales, and so I sold it all to go all in on this, right? That's what that email is. How did you get into it? And also you can invite them into your community. If they got on your list, but they're not on your Facebook group yet, or, wherever it is you hang out online, you can also put a link like, hey, if this resonates with you, join my Facebook group. Those are the 4 emails. That's it. It's that simple.
I love how simple you keep this. Oh my gosh. Where were you like 12 years ago when I started in business and everybody was like, you need 900 million and 73 emails to do anything? And I was just like, oh my gosh, we're not doing that. We're
Yeah,
not taking
I like to keep it simple. I love myself. I built that first blog in an RV in 200 square feet with a husband that was like, what's a blog? And a toddler that was still going to the bathroom in her pants. Like, I don't have time to build out a crazy funnel. But I knew, I knew the basics. You've got to give them the freebie. You've got to show them your content. You've got to tell them who you are, where you're coming from, and why you're the one they should listen to, right? So when you follow this formula, it just sets that foundation to take that person from, this follower, like into a friend, someone that knows you, is starting to trust you. And it becomes so much easier to turn them into a customer. Number one, because they know you're a business, you've told them. And number two, so far you've followed up on everything that you said you were going to do. And, they know you a little bit personally.
Well, y'all, I can tell you if Liz does her beach party, anything like she does her email sequences, I want to be there because this is another perspective that I heard while you shared all of that. And so what I heard is, when you do the initial email, when you do the initial part of this week welcome sequence, it's like being like, hey, you just got over to the beach house. Come on in and like hang out here at the beach house. This is like the other cool people that are here. Then I also heard you say that like, hey, like this is my favorite view of the beach. I love going over here every morning for my run and watching the sunrise over here or watching the sunset over here. And oh, by the way, y'all, there's more awesome stuff. Like, and that's why we're having a party. So if you'll come over here, like this is where like your favorite fizzy drinks are or your Mai Tais, and this is where we got some food. And this is where we're just going to hang out and share and have some food together. But by the way, like there's this great little beach shop right next door. And if y'all want to take any souvenirs, they've got some also. And I know that's probably the most simplest way to even simplify what you shared, but you really shared how a welcome sequence can be welcoming and something that we're already doing every single day, but it might not have even flipped the switch to say, you know what, I'm doing that when people come over for a party. I'm doing that when people join my Facebook group. How do I take what I already do and with intention put it into an email marketing list? So thank you so much for sharing that, Liz.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if you do have products, as far as that third newsletter where I'm going to offer free and paid resources, just underneath that bullet, just make those mini bullets, like my 20-minute newsletters that teaches you how to write a newsletter in 20 minutes, like my membership, like my yada, 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 right? And so even if they don't buy right then because they don't know you and nobody has time to write 9 million emails for a funnel, funnels are a really advanced strategy anyway. They're going to click over. They're the most engaged that first week. If they're going to be engaged, they're going to be engaged that first week. So you might as well just start putting those links in. You're starting to train them to click over, to check it out. What did they say? It takes the average person something like 7 or 9 no's before they get a yes. So let those first no's be right there in the first couple emails, right? That way, when you actually send out a real sales email, you do a launch or a flash sale, they're already semi-familiar with your products, with your services. That's
That's
just a
awesome.
side note. Mm-hmm.
That is, see, she's also efficient, ladies and gentlemen. Very efficient right there with that one. And so, in closing today, Liz, two last questions. First one being, and take them whatever order you'd like, is where can people find out more about you and your email marketing awesomeness? And number two, what parting words would you have for people that are, whether they're already doing email marketing and being like, oh my God, I hate this, or they're just like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go do this now. What words of wisdom and party would you have for them when it comes to email marketing?
Yes. Okay. So, number one, I just want you to know that, like Roberto just said, I am a very efficient person and I really don't like to do things that are hard. Like I I go to the beach a lot. I just really love myself and I want you to love yourself too. So, just keep it simple and have fun. In my list building training today, I literally had people write down I will be me and have fun. And, if you go to my website, you'll see like, oh, wow, she really does kind of embody that. But I want you to. And you don't have to be this extrovert, like, you know, in your face, super colorful person. You can be yourself and still have fun because email marketing, yes, it is simple. I've kept it very simple for you, but it is a long term thing. The more you do it, the more dividends you're going to see, the more profit and freedom you're going to have. But you're going to give up if you don't if you don't keep the fun in it, if you aren't yourself. So I just want you to know that if you are yourself and you have fun, email marketing can be simple and it can make you a crap ton of money. And if you like that message, obviously I want you to join my email list. You can get this welcome sequence. I've written this welcome sequence several times. I've actually built 3 email lists and worked with dozens and dozens of um, other people, clients, to build out their email list. So I actually wrote this for you. You can take it. It's called a swipe file. You can just go to lizwilcox.com. I think I have 5 or 6 places on the homepage where I'm like, hey, did you get this yet? That's another side note of how to list build. But you can get the swipe file. You can take it, delete the Liz Wilcox out of it, put the Roberto in it, or whatever, whoever, and put it into your service provider. Bada bing, bada boom. You'll also get 3 newsletter examples, different types of newsletters that I've written, and 52 subject lines. So that's 52 prompts for you to write your newsletter once a week for a year.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, Liz, thank you so much for being here. And I mean, who would have thought all those years ago that, and I love it right now. You're just like, you can make a crap ton of money. Who would have thought that a book on crap would have led you to a place where you can make a crap ton of money online, now teaching other people how to bring simplicity into their life with email marketing so they can stay more in touch with the people that they're already working with, the people that they want to work with, and create deeper and more intimate relationships with email marketing. So thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love your dancing and everything else that's you. And I'm sure we'll have you back on another show where we're going to talk about y'all. Because once you get started on this, here's the thing. You're going to be like, oh my God, I'm hooked. Now, how do I write an email newsletter? And I got to tell you, Liz is going to be back to do that in a future episode. And we're going to make her say yes right now. It's like she's going to check the virtual terms and conditions, right?
Yes, I say yes. Thank you. And yeah, I love your analogy. I didn't even realize I said a crap ton of money because yeah, honestly, if I can sell a book on crap, whatever your idea is, it's better than mine. So let's get started.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, y'all. Y'all have a great day, and we'll be back with another episode soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks.
Well, howdy, and thanks for listening to another episode of the show. Hey, if you'd love to stay in contact with us, visit robertoteaches.com to connect with me on social media, learn about our Facebook groups, and other places that we can connect to help you on your journey to becoming the community CEO. And if you're loving the show, do me a favor. I'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast listening platform.